She stood in the center of the grand Sterling ballroom, a ghost returned to a gilded cage. It had been 10 long years since her father, the powerful patriarch of the Sterling dynasty, had cast her out into the cold, unforgiving rain, armed with nothing more than a shattered heart and a bruised soul. The sting of his betrayal had been a constant companion, a phantom limb that ached with the memory of a life stolen from her. Now, she was back, not as the broken girl he had exiled, but as a woman forged in the fires of her own survival. He stood before her again, his face a perfect mask of aristocratic disgust, his eyes cold and devoid of any paternal warmth. The air crackled with the unspoken history between them, a decade of silence and simmering resentment. With a theatrical flourish of contempt, he tossed a check at her feet, the paper fluttering down to rest on the polished marble floor. $1 million. He sneered, his voice dripping with condescension. Take it, and disappear from our lives for good. Around them, a glittering sea of society's elite. Her own siblings snickered into their champagne flutes, raising their glasses in a cruel toast to what they believed was her final, humiliating departure. They saw her as a stain on their perfect family portrait, a loose thread they were finally snipping away. But Alina didn't move. She didn't even glance at the fortune lying by her designer heels. The money was an insult, a pittance meant to buy her silence and salve their consciences. Her revenge was priceless. Instead, with a slow, deliberate grace that held the room captive, she reached into her small, elegant clutch. Her fingers closed around a small, silver drive, cool and solid against her skin. It was the key to their destruction, the culmination of years spent in the shadows. Gathering the truth they had so carefully buried, a cold, knowing smile touched her lips as she walked calmly to the grand display behind the bar, its massive screens currently showcasing the Sterling family's long and glorious history. She connected the drive, and the triumphant orchestral music died with a sudden, jarring finality. The silence that fell was absolute, a heavy, suffocating blanket. The screens flickered, and the curated images of philanthropy and power vanished. In their place, a grainy midnight recording began to play, the poor quality only adding to the chilling reality of the scene. The footage was from a decade ago, a secret recording from a hidden camera in the family garage. It showed the patriarch, her father, and his eldest son, her brother, their faces illuminated by a single bare bulb as they worked on a car. The sound was distorted, but their actions were horrifyingly clear. They were tampering with the brakes of a vehicle Leona's mother's car, the car she had died in just 2 days later. In an accident the world had been told was a tragic, unavoidable misfortune. The room froze. The snickering and smug whispers turned into sharp, choked gasps. Laughter died in throats, replaced by a dawning, collective horror. Champagne glasses slipped from nerveless fingers, shattering on the floor like the family's pristine reputation. The patriarch's face, once a mask of disgust, was now a canvas of pure, unadulterated terror. His skin a ghastly shade of white. His son looked as though he had seen a legion of ghosts. As the distant, mournful wail of sirens began to grow louder, cutting through the night, and drawing inexorably closer to the mansion, Alina walked with an unhurried regal stride to the head of the long mahogany dining table, the seat of power, her father's chair. She sat down, the worn leather cool against her back, and watched with detached satisfaction as the ballroom doors burst open. Uniformed police officers flooded the opulent space, their presence a stark, brutal intrusion into this world of polished lies. She watched as they apprehended her shouting, sputtering father and her ashen-faced brother, their protests lost in the chaos. She calmly reached for the nearest crystal decanter, pouring a measure of amber liquid into a glass. The black sheep, the outcast, the ghost they thought they had vanquished, had finally come home. She raised her glass in a silent, solitary toast. The flock was now hers to claim.